Okay, marketing students, no, not marketing. This is multimedia. We are going to put together our YouTube channel art today, and one of the things that we already worked on is the word cloud assignment. And if you are finished with that, then you are ready to build your YouTube channel art. So I have put together the assignment. It's on Google Classroom and also Microsoft Teams. Again, just as a reminder, I will put assignments on Teams, but there's going to be a link that just takes you to Google Classroom. That's where all of the tutorials and other added elements of the assignment will be. So I've prepared my desktop here so I can do this tutorial. So I've got my word cloud files, I've got my background, I've got my original logos, I've got everything that I need. So let's jump into this. I'm going to show you how to put together the YouTube channel art in a website called photopea.com. I'll show you pixlr.com as well, which is a very similar website that does the same thing. So it's like Photoshop Lite. It has kind of similar tools, but I'm going to show the actual tutorial on Photopea because I think it's a little more straightforward. So let's get started. So there we go. So here is in Google Classroom the assignment. It's called YouTube Channel Art, and it says after creating your word cloud assignment, you will incorporate the final product into your YouTube channel art. Here are the requirements. Your canvas dimensions, the minimum dimensions that they request, 2480 wide by 1152 high. And actually, I want to make sure that you know that that's pixels, not inches, not any other dimension that they give you. That's 2480 wide on the pixels, 1152 high on the pixels. You need to have a creative background layer. So just like a solid color is kind of boring, if you could do a little better than that, that would be good. You're going to use the Bullard shield. I will actually attach that to this assignment. It'll be a transparent one so that there's no background so that you can layer it on top of other things. And you need to use your word cloud that you created on wordart.com. And then the last element, you have to use a picture that represents you in some way. So if you remember the nameplate assignment we did, there was a picture that you provided. You could use the same one if you wanted to. So something like a hobby or a sport or an activity or your family or pets or anything like that that just kind of represents you on this YouTube channel art. So attached to this assignment will be this tutorial video that you're watching right now. Again, I'll be using the website photopea.com. I'm going to put that link right down here in this section so you can just click on it too. Also attached will be that Bullard Shield logo that I talked about. And then finally attached will be my sample YouTube channel art. So if I were to go to my YouTube channel now, this is what my final art came out to be. So I will attach a screenshot of that. In fact, why don't I just take the time to do that now? So I'm going to do this so you can see that it's YouTube, and I'm going to save it so I can attach it to the assignment. Okay, so that's going to be in my desktop, and then I will attach that when I finish up this assignment. So now we're good. Let's go to Photopea. So this is what I built the other day, and so I'm going to close these other ones and I'm going to open a new one, I think, so I can show you from scratch. Yes, I want to close those. It's okay. Okay, so let's do File, then New, and we're going to call it YouTube Art or YouTube Channel, or let's just do the whole thing. So YouTube Channel Art, and the width 2480. Height 1152, make sure that's pixels. Okay, you want this, it'll be here as a default, but you want transparent background so that you can put your own, and you're going to create. So now here's our canvas. Gray and white squares is good. If you want to see a little bit more of your canvas, what you can do is Control minus on your keyboard or Control plus to make it larger. So I'm going to go with this size right here. And now we're going to start adding layers. So this is like our layer palette right here. And I think the easiest way to really do this is to have your files already downloaded and on your desktop somewhere, or you can go to like File Explorer and kind of split your window and drag things onto your deal. So I've got them on my desktop. First thing you'll need is a background. So what I did was I went to Google Images and I looked for a background that was like, I like shiny metal stuff sometimes for this sort of thing. So I think I did gunmetal background, and I think this was the one. That might be the one, or it's similar anyway. So always make sure you actually click on it, and then this. So these are all previews. These are small versions of pictures. This is the actual picture. So you can right click and save this image, and this says gunmetal background. That's good. Okay, JPEG is good. You can put it on your desktop or wherever you want to put it. So now I'm going to go back to Photopea. I'm going to minimize this so I can see my files. And there's my background right there. And I'm going to drag that on. And I have my sizing handles around it, which is good. I'm going to just stretch that out. And since this is background, I can go beyond the edges and to make sure that I don't have any white edges along there. And then I can move this around, like see this little white streak. Maybe I want that over here. And then I can just kind of adjust from there. So that looks pretty good. And once I'm happy with the look of that picture, you're going to want to press this check mark. If you don't want to use that and you want to go get something else, then you can cancel. So I'm going to place that picture. So the next thing I'm going to do is just start adding layers. So now I've got the original background layer, which is nothing, and then this is like my I'm going to call this, I'm going to double click and call it channel art background. That's good. Initials, okay. And then now I just start adding my elements. So again, I've got them all over here, so I can drag it over. And I have my sizing handles again, so you want to like resize holding down shift. So let me show you what happens when you don't hold on shift. When you resize, you can like make it skinny and make it all weird. If you hold down shift, it'll maintain the width and height. So that's the aspect ratio, so it keeps it the same. Now here's a pro tip. Even though they have this minimum like height at 1152, really the only thing that shows is 423 pixels, this little skinny part. So I had to work a little bit to get these to show up correctly. So 423 kind of in the middle here, and so you just kind of want to place it there, maybe a little lower, and see how that red line shows up. So that shows you that you're right in the middle vertically, and then if I go over here, that's right in the middle horizontally, and if I get both red lines, that's the exact center of my canvas. So you can use that as guidelines. So I'm going to go a little bit below, and then I'm going to do my original shield and hold down shift so it keeps the aspect ratio, and move it over, and so forth. So you can see we have, every time you put another picture on there, you have another layer. So background layer, word cloud, bullard shield, regular bullard shield, and at any time if you want to see what it looks like without or with a different layer, if I wanted to take this shield away, you can just do the eye just to see what it looks like, and you can do that for any layer. Okay, so you would just continue on until you get your whole YouTube channel art built, and then once you're finished and you like what it looks like, what you're going to do, well, if you don't finish in one sitting, here's what you need to do. You need to save this file as a PSD so that you have all of these layers. So if you don't finish all in one sitting, you want to go over here and you want to save as PSD. That's a Photoshop file. So if you had Photoshop, you could actually open it up in Photoshop. If you're completely finished and you're ready to use it as your channel art, then you would export as JPEG. All right, and then I'll show you how to so when you're at your YouTube channel, you'll have to click your icon, and a menu will pop down and say go to your channel. And then once you're here, this is how you add your channel art. So let me see if I can back out of here and show you that process. So if you're just at YouTube and you're signed into your Google account, that's good. And you're going to click here, and you're going to go to your channel. And then here's where your YouTube art is, and you want to customize your channel. And, oop, did I do that right? Your channel. Well, I think I was there when I was just at my channel. Oh, my mistake. So here's where you can do it. This is the banner image. So you can change and find your banner image. So like I had one right here, and that one I didn't save for the minimum, so you got to make sure it's minimum. Let's see if I had one that was minimum. Is this my sample? Yeah, except that's the snippet that I did. So I'm going to need to go to downloads, and these are a bunch of the ones that I made yesterday. So if I click here, okay, that's looking good. It'll show you, like, you know, where you want it to put it, and you can press done, and it will change it for you. And that's it. I'm not going to let it do that because I'm already happy with my YouTube channel art. And that's the tutorial for today. So that was in Photopea, photopea.com. You could do the same thing in Pixlr Editor. So you can see here, so it's a very similar process. You've got your layers. The tools are pretty much the same. But I've chosen to do it in this right now just for simplicity's sake. So you can rewatch this if you need to in order to build your channel art. And now I will close this tutorial and put it as part of the assignment, and we will get started. See you in class.